and welcome to another episode of Friends of the Forest. My name is Dale Mangold. I'm your host, and thanks for tuning in this week. Our guest on the show this week is none other than Kele Fleming, and we fly all the way out to the western part of the Canadian Pacific and to the city of Victoria on Vancouver Island, where we will chat with Kele Fleming, who is a singer, songwriter, musician, talk show host in her own right, and amongst other things. And we'll get to Kele in a few moments later on in the episode. But first, fill you in on some tidbits about this channel and the show. This is the Forrest Of FangHorn channel. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and give us a like, a thumbs up. That helps out the channel, and it helps us do what we do and get even more guests and other types of content, which you'll be seeing later on in the year. So hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate that. We just cracked over 1,000 subscribers just recently, so I thank everyone out there, and I appreciate that. But Friends of the Forest, a new episode airs every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And like I mentioned, we sit down and chat with artists, bands, and entertainers from all around the world. If you want to be on the show, send us an email at forrestoffanghornpgh@gmail.com, and we'll email you everything you need to know about setting up your interview. It's pretty easy. We do everything virtually, but if you happen to be in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, you can record your episode live right here in Treebeard Studio, just like we've done with some previous artists over this season of episodes. Everyone from Craig Valtry and Jeremy Kaywood, just to name a few. And next week on July 27th, we had the pleasure of having Miss Freddie right here live in studio. If you like the blues, make sure you plan on seeing next week's episode with Miss Freddie. She's a phenomenal blues vocalist and performer, and we sit down and go over her career and some upcoming award nominations that she's going to be looking forward to later on this year. So anyways, that is all you need to know about being on the show, and we'll put links in the description with the email and everything like that. Channel content, my band Forrest Of FangHorn. It's an eclectic mix of funk, R&B, rock, hip-hop, jazz music. Our debut album Ents Marching just came out earlier this year, so there's 10 tracks on it. Go give those songs a listen, and there's some other the first 10 episodes of Friends of the Forest specifically deal with each song on the album, and we interview all the special guest vocalists and musicians that are on the album. So anyways, enough of my yapping around. Let's get ready to dive into this week's episode. Okay, welcome back, Friends of the Forest. Thanks for tuning in, and our guest this week is Kele Fleming, and we met through New Artist Spotlight. You've heard us talk about New Artist Spotlight on the channel. I'll put a link to their website in the description below. It's a pretty cool worldwide group of independent artists and independent musicians. We just basically help network with each other and help promote each other's music, and amongst other things, that we have our own radio station, etc., etc. It's absolutely free, and it's open to anyone and any style, any genre of music. So once again, I'll put the link in the description there. But that's how Kele and I met. We met through New Artist Spotlight, and Kele has her own talk show on her YouTube channel as well. It's called Musical Mondays, so make sure you check out her YouTube channel, not only for that show, but for all her video content as well. And like I said, New Artist Spotlight, that's how we met. And we're just going to quit yapping here and let's go out to Vancouver. Kele, how are you? And welcome to the show. Thanks for being on.
Hey Dale, thanks so much for having me on the show. It's so cool that you interview international musicians. I've been checking out the YouTube page, so really excited about doing this interview with you and chatting with you.
How about some of your background? You have an extensive musical career. We can go into that first, or you can tell us a little bit about yourself first, actually.
So my name's Kele Fleming, and I'm a folk rock singer-songwriter, and I should add sometimes synthwave singer-songwriter from Victoria, Canada. So that's on the westernmost and southernmost part of Canada. So I'm on the southern tip of Vancouver Island, which is on Canada's Pacific coast. So that's Victoria. And I am a solo artist. I do collaborate with various DJs and remixers, and do a lot of collabs and songwriting. But for the most part, I'm a solo artist these days.
And what brought you to your musical career?
How did I get started with music? You know, music is in my bones. It's in my cells. It's, you know, it makes the world go round for me. So I started writing songs as a very wee lass. I was probably about 12 years old when I started writing songs. Can't vouch for how good they were. But yeah, it's always something I've wanted to do to help me make sense of the world. I started as a performing singer-songwriter when I was in my mid-teens, and then probably more active around 19. I fronted an indie folk rock band in Vancouver, Canada, named Hazel Motes, and we did quite well. We toured the country and down the west coast of the US multiple times. We had multiple songs that charted on college radio, and yeah, we were super active, and that was a really fun time for me. And that band was probably together about, I don't know, 10 years. And this was in the early 90s, so my music career goes way back. And since then, since Hazel Motes, I've been a solo artist. I released a book of poetry. I did a spoken word album. And I've done 6 solo albums, and I'm working on my next one now. I start in 2 weeks, and I'm so excited. First recording session is in 2 weeks. What got me to where I am today? You know, I think the music and the people that I've been blessed to meet along the way, collaborators, sister and fellow musicians, and just the drive and the belief in music and the power of music has kept me going and got me to where I am today.
Some of your new music is actually some of your old music. Specifically, the song Vanishing of Bees, which you have a few different, multiple versions of this song. Right now, currently, you have a remix of Vanishing of Bees. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Vanishing of Bees is my most remixed song. I had Vancouver remixer Atlas to Earth did 2 remixes of the song, and he kind of got me kick-started on the remix the remix track. And, you know, shout out to another new artist spotlight artist, Coastal Town, who connected me with Atlas to Earth, that got the whole synthwave alter ego of Kele Fleming going. So thank you for that, Coastal Town. And Vanishing of Bees, the original song, when I wrote it, I wanted to capture the joy and wonder of a child exploring the natural world and just like this beautiful place we live. And I wanted to juxtapose that in the song with the fear and the grief and adult experiences, realizing that we may be losing this beautiful place that we live in, and it's definitely in danger. So that's kind of the scene, the landscape that Vanishing of Bees grew out of.
You know, it's nice to, you know, take on that challenge of going back and revisiting something that you written and released in the past and put a different spin on things. And the remix of Vanishing of Bees is very, very cool sounding. I went backwards. I started with the most recent remix, then there was one prior to that, and then I went all the way back to the original version, which, you know, it was very cool to listen to it that way, and then eventually hit the original version of the song, and I just love the evolution of this song. Very well done.
The original recording of Vanishing of Bees was done in 2019, and Scott Fletcher, who's a fantastic musician from Vancouver, added a banjitar part to the song that gave that original recording kind of a buzz to it. It gave the track kind of a foundational buzz, which I just loved. And, you know, I was thinking the other day I might want to put some of that banjitar on my next album. I just haven't found the right song to do it with yet, but I'm definitely thinking about that. And I was playing on that original track, I was playing that little beauty over my shoulder there, the Rickenbacker 325 John Lennon Special, my very favorite guitar. So I was playing that guitar on the track, and oh, I should have got it out, but I was using this chorus pedal that just has this wild setting when you turn it up, and you turn the knobs really far to the left or right. Anyway, you turn the knobs way over to one side, and it creates this buzz. So between the banjitar and my little Ricky being all affected out with the chorus, the bees were really present in that song. So if you want to check that out, you can find that song on all the streaming platforms, on Spotify under Kele Fleming, and Kele is spelled K-E-L-E. That's the Gaelic spelling, apparently. And yeah, so that if you want to have a listen to that original track, and just listen for that Ricky and that banjitar. And for those of you who don't know, a banjitar it's like a banjo, but it has 6 strings and it's tuned like a guitar. So it has a really unique sound. It's a pretty cool instrument.
Okay, now when it comes to social media and stuff like that, you obviously, you still like are, you know, you have a presence on social media, but you also have a Patreon page and an email subscription page, and you know, like doing our research here, you know, why don't we talk about you know, your philosophy on leaning towards like the subscription end of things, and your email and Patreon page, and what's involved with that?
So I mentioned that all of my music is on the streaming platforms. You can also find me on Bandcamp. Bandcamp is kind of my merch store if you want to support this indie artist over here by purchasing the songs or buying my merch. That would be great. And you know, I'm on social media, definitely. I'm on all of the social media platforms. I think probably the most active ones for me are Instagram and Facebook. And I should add, recently over the last couple of months, I've been shifting my focus away from social media and more towards a subscription service. So I've started a Patreon, and I have various tiers. I have a free tier, and I also have some paid tiers. And the reason why I started that is because I found that I was creating, or am still creating, a lot of content, and that takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and effort to put together content based around my music and my music career. And I'm doing that for free. And it's still for free, most of it on my Patreon. But for those amazing fans who want to pay to support me in my attempt to make a living wage as an indie musician, can sign up for a subscribe tier. So if you'd like to do that, it's patreon.com/Kele Fleming, and it's Kele and Fleming with one M. And yeah, I think it's a really great way to support indie music, is to, if you have a musician that you know and love, and they have an email list, subscribe to their email list, their newsletter, or subscribe to their subscription service like Patreon or Substack. It really helps. It really helps kind of sustain our career. Yeah, and I'm kind of thinking that the world is transitioning a bit. We were all very enamored with social media, especially during the pandemic lockdown, because it was a way to keep us all connected. And while that is still true, there's also a shadow side to social media, an insidiousness that keeps us disconnected in some ways. So that's kind of why I'm shifting my focus, and I'm finding the algorithms aren't as kind to indie musicians. We've seen that with Spotify, with people having their catalogs removed and being suspended from platforms like Spotify, and you know, the algorithms of Facebook and Instagram and others just making it more difficult for us to connect with our fans. So that's why, that's my very long-winded story as to why I'm shifting my focus. So you'll still find me on those places.
And where can people find you in addition to the email and Patreon, your socials?
Instagram, I'm Tin Forest Pics. Facebook, Kele Fleming Music. YouTube, Kele Fleming Musician. TikTok, Tin Forest Vids. And I'm Tin Forest on X. I'm on Threads, I'm on Blue Sky. So, you know, you can find me anywhere. And I'll send my Linktree, because everything's in there. Yeah, so I think, yeah, that's the best way to keep track of what I'm doing. And my website is www.tinforest.com.
Anything else that you want to chat about with us or your fans out there?
So I mentioned that I'm starting to record my next album. I'll likely release an EP, first of all. And I've got 6 songs lined up to record in 2 weeks with a fantastic band. Some of the band members are returning for this recording that were on my last album, and I'm recording with Juno-winning and nominated and West Coast Music Awards, or Western Canada Music Award winner Sheldon Zaharko. recording in a beautiful studio in downtown Vancouver called The Warehouse. Super excited about that. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure of the release schedule for that yet, but I'll keep you posted in the coming months. And I just released on UN World Bee Day, I just released the third remix of my song Vanishing of Bees. And that is a remix by UK artist Lost Signal. And I love what he's done with the song. We called the remix Buzzwave because he's done something entirely unique with it. There's some dark wave in it, there's some synth wave, and definitely experimental and improv too, and I love what he's done with it. And you know, shout out to Nick, or aka Eleanor Collides, who connected me with Lost Signal, because Lost Signal also did a remix of one of Eleanor Collides' tracks recently.
Well, I appreciate you being on the show, Kele. It's very nice to finally sit down virtually and have a chat with you. And I appreciate your support of all independent artists out there and their music, and especially my channel as well. It means a whole lot to me. So thank you for being on the show, Kele.
Thanks so much for having me on the show, Dale. It's been so great to chat with you, and I love talking about songs, and I love geeking out and talking about guitars a little bit, and any chance I can get to chat about the process of writing and what happens in the studio is so much fun for me. So thanks for having me, and I love your show. Take care.
All right, everybody, that wraps up another episode of Friends of the Forest. Once again, new episodes air every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So make sure, if you want to know about new content and new episodes and other things coming out, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and then you'll be notified very easily on when new episodes and other content. I am going to expand a little bit. I'm going to be doing some album reviews and some other variations on the podcast, some different things that I'll mention in a few weeks. Some things are in the work currently as we speak. I did a little traveling, and we're going to have a Dale Visits New York City little episode. My escapades. I've been up there. I visited some friends and family up in the Brooklyn area over the past couple months a few times, and I'm going out to Colorado, Del Norte, Colorado, to visit my son, Gabe Mangold, who plays in the band Enterprise Earth, and I'm gonna take a little trip out there. So you know, we'll have some fun little video episodes of my travels as well. And but I just appreciate everyone tuning in. Next week we have Miss Freddie, that's July 27th, and then on August 3rd we have Velvet Blitz. So looking forward to those episodes. Please thank you, and please thank you. Please hit that subscribe button, and thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. And until next time, we'll see you around on Friends of the Forest. Peace and love.